welcome to the stage is hilarious. We love him here. Give a nice one. Welcome to Adam Feuerberg!
Hi everybody, always fun to be part of a movie premiere. That was awesome. Loved it. Love always following Cruz and his choking dog bit. That's always super inspiring. But I find it more inspiring is his 1930s Depression era sawmill outfit. Did you guys like that? That was fun. Coming from a guy wearing corduroy, I'm talking shit for no reason right now, and I feel good. I just got married, ladies and gentlemen, a couple months ago. Thank you. Thank you. I will never turn down applause that I blatantly asked for. Thank you very much. I followed a very simple rule of thumb. If you tell a girl that you host a Star Trek themed podcast and she gives you her phone number, you marry her. Don't fuck that up. She might be the only one. Locked it down. Locked it down. I remember when we first met, my wife Rachel started making very positive changes to my life in very small ways. The first time that she came over to my apartment, Rachel asked to blow her nose. All I had to offer her was toilet paper, and she was disgusted. Like, she wouldn't even do it. She kind of made me feel bad about it. She pee-pee shamed me, and I didn't even know that was a thing. But then, like 2 days later, she shows up at my apartment with like 6 boxes of Kleenex. Right? Simple gesture elevated the value of my life. Embarrassingly, 2 weeks later, I totally used that Kleenex to wipe my butt. I was out of toilet paper. Very simple. We live together now, which is great because I feel like anytime someone comes over, the place looks like it belongs to an adult, which is nice. I lived alone 6 years prior, and I feel like anytime someone would come over to my old apartment, they would take one look around the place and think, this place looks like it belongs to the world's most successful 14-year-old boy. I don't know about 34-year-old me. 14-year-old me was super proud when 8 controllers to play the video game Super Smash Brothers. Anyone else? Any other nerds? Yeah, a couple of boos in the crowd. All right. You and me after the show, dude. Truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, the day that Super Smash Brothers came out in stores, I did not go to work that day. Instead, I stayed home, ate mushrooms, and played that game all day. Couple of woos in the back means I know who to buy from, and I am cash. That's right. You saw I just started off with a couple jokes, and then I just blatantly asked the audience for drugs. So hey, win. Yeah, they were good mushrooms too, man. I didn't have to turn on the TV once. Still played the game all day. The wedding was a lot of fun. The planning, it was a lot of work, but it didn't get ridiculously out of hand. Like when I think about some of the other weddings I had to go through since I've been starting to date my wife. But we had to go to a wedding the year prior that we got married. It was last summer. It was in San Diego. This wedding was nuts. This family took over like the 2 bottom stories of an entire hotel on San Diego Bay. I had to find out how much this thing cost. I'm Jewish. And the father of the bride, he told me the truth and he spared no expense. Ladies and gentlemen, this wedding cost $250,000 to put on. Yeah. And this guy is an investment banker by trade. He should know better. Throughout his speech during the reception, he just kept saying over and over again, I'm only doing this so that my daughter can be happy. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no asset on planet Earth that depreciates faster than the happiness of a Jewish woman. Fluctuates quarter to quarter at best. You know what I mean? We went on the honeymoon, which was a lot of fun. There was an 80-year-old couple that wouldn't leave us alone. Their names are Fred and Margie, in case you don't believe me that they're 80. Fred and Margie kept asking us out on dates, and we finally appeased them. We said, let's go out. That sounds like fun. On that date, they floated the idea already of going on a second date. And Rachel and I were trying to be polite, but not we'll think about it, you know. Before that date was over, they hard-assed us out for a 3rd date. And it was then that I knew that Fred and Margie wanted to fuck. They were swingers. They wanted to get us into their folds, all of their folds, roll us up in there. And we turned them down, and I have to say, I am kind of bummed I didn't get to learn which goes down further, Margie's boobs or Fred's balls. What do you think? I got Fred's balls. Oh, you said boobs back there. Well, I guess we have to take that back, huh? I'm not originally from LA. I married a girl from LA, so now I have like family events to go to again, like family dinners, which is fun. I haven't had that in my life consistently in a while. My mother-in-law is a sweet lady, but she cooks with too many onions, and that kind of upsets my stomach, makes me a little gassy, and I have to do the best I can to hold that in at the dinner table. Sometimes, honestly, I can't hold it, and it comes out. But it's okay, because my wife Rachel has a 93-year-old grandfather, and everybody just assumes it's him. And now I have to ask myself, am I a bad person for blaming my farts on a Holocaust survivor? Does that make me bad guy? He survived one gas chamber just to end up in another. Demo. Thank you, Demo. He'll be right back. I have a penchant for saying very stupid things at the worst time. Obviously, as a comic, it works on stage, but in real life, sometimes I just sound like a dick. I got to do my friend's backyard show recently. Backyard shows are kind of a popular fad in LA right now. If you fill up a backyard with chairs, you invite your neighbors over, it's a fun way to have a show. I was catching up with my buddy after the show. I hadn't seen him in a while, so we were shooting the shit. He was telling me how excited he was to finally put on his backyard show. And I, too, wanted to tell him that I love backyard shows. And instead I just said, I love backdoor stuff. And his girlfriend was right there to hear that entire exchange, and she gave me like this super jealous look, and I just thought, I still got it. I might be married, but on the subject of saying very stupid things, a friend of mine is a comic, was diagnosed with cancer a few months ago, and so we decided to throw him a little benefit show. And the reason why this guy and I are such close friends beyond comedy, we have a lot of things outside of comedy we have in common. Number one is baseball, and I know this guy's favorite baseball team is the San Diego Padres. And so the day of his cancer benefit show was Tony Gwynn's birthday. Tony Gwynn is known as Mr. Padre, greatest player in the history of the team. So when I saw my friend, I wanted to just put a smile on his face immediately. It's like, hey man, it's Tony Gwynn's birthday, isn't that great? And he said, Adam, you're an asshole. Tony Gwynn died of cancer. And that's when I paid for his treatment. Completely just bailed myself out. All right, well, you like me on the anti-Semitism, but now in reality, now, don't laugh at real things. Keep talking about being a Jew. Okay, thank you, clappers, thank you. I will.
Podcast.
All right, Mr. Producer. You can tell he has a tie clip, and only people who produce wear tie clips. I still say that the worst thing that I ever said occurred at my sister's wedding. I was catching up with an old family friend. I hadn't seen this guy since my father was on his deathbed. This guy, we moved away from the town where I grew up, and this guy was the only one of like our family friends to come all the way across the country to see him. And so at my sister's wedding, I wanted to ask him, what was the connection that you guys had? You were the only person to make that trip. Why were you guys so close? And he said, Adam, we didn't really talk about it that much because it was so painful, but if you want to know, the reason why your dad and I were so close is because we were both camp children. And to give you some context of what that means, my father was born in mid-1940s, war-torn Europe, Jewish, camp children. And I asked this guy, really? What summer camp did you guys go to? I should be going to hell for that, but I'm Jewish, so it's just South Florida. So. Fuck yeah, dude. I can entertain half of you, make the other half feel horrible. I feel like I did my job. I'm Adam Feuerberg. Thank you very much.